Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle you guys downwards, so my head might be cut off, but I'd rather you be able to see more of the seat than cutting off the top of my head, so that you can actually see what I'm doing around the corners and stuff like that. Yeah, most people when they get started, they are attached to the bike, including me, and they do this around corners. Do you know what I mean? You're one solid unit. Wherever the bike goes, your body stays exactly with it. That's what I used to do, like this. So yeah, you're going around the corner, but you're not leaving the bike. So where you run the risk with that is if you want to lean more, if you want to get around the corner any quicker, you've got to lean the bike more. That's your only option, because you're not moving off of the bike. So you are one solid unit. So in order for you to go faster around that corner, or get more lean angle, and carry more speed, you just have to lean the bike over more, which runs more risk. The reason we want to get off the seat is because it reduces the amount that you have to lean the bike. It's actually safer, believe it or not, to actually lean the bike over, because then you've got more room to play with. If you need to add lean, then yes, you can add lean on top of that. But if you lean the bike over, I can go around these two corners now and keep the bike relatively upright. You know what I mean? The bike was not leant over there, it was basically straight up, and if I didn't do that, I would have had to lean it way more. So getting your body off of the seat actually reduces the risk and makes it a little bit safer to get round the corner. Plus, obviously, your weight hanging off of the bike is going to just pull that bike round anyway, so there's kind of like a counterbalance. You've seen them no, not the three-wheelers, the two-seated bikes where that guy's laying on the side. I'll put it on the screen, and he's leaning over to keep that weight on that side so the back end doesn't slip out. It's kind of the same, kind of. Not fully, but kind of, because he's leaning that weight off to kind of pull the bike round and stop it from imbalancing the weight. If I went round one of these corners really sharp and you keep your body on the bike, but there's more weight over that rear tyre, there's more centre of gravity on those tyres there, and it's going to just put a bit more pressure into that tyre and increase the risk of it actually going over. So let me tilt this camera down right now and let's go around this corner and I'll show you what I mean by leaning off the seat properly. And I'm going to pull it round the corner. Big difference to if I was to take the corner like what I'm about to show you right now. So this is me having to lean the bike even more without lifting my position off, and I can't even carry that much speed into it. I'm already having to slow down because I know how risky it is just doing this like that. It's just not the one. That is just so much more uncontrolled, so much more risky in a way, because now all that weight is over that back tyre, and if I keep leaning and leaning and leaning, there's so much weight in that back tyre ready to just slip out. Whereas if I actually hang off, I've got that counterbalance to even out that weight, and then I've also got the benefit of not having to actually lean that bike over more than you need to. I can actually keep the bike more upright, therefore giving us a little bit more grip and a little bit more safety. The last thing you want to do is like low side your bike, do you know what I mean? So we'll do one more example and then we'll stop out and then we'll talk about some stuff. So this time I can carry a lot more speed into this corner, get right off the bike. I'm all the way out here and that bike is nowhere near as leaned over, and I've managed to get round there. So much more confidence, and if I do need to lean it extra, I can add that on top of already using my body. So I want to use my body as much as I can, and then if I need to lean the bike more, then I've got room to lean the bike. Whereas the other way, you've only got one option, it's just lean all the way over with all your weight on the back. So let's pull over and let's talk about a couple of little things. So we'll just go down here. Whee! And I'll put the bike on the centre stand for this example to show you what I'm doing over the seat, because once you've got that, you'll start to implement that into your corners, right? And you'll start to hang off that bike and it will just feel, trust me, it feels amazing. It feels scary at the start, but when you keep doing it, you'll realise how much safer and how much more confidence you'll have around those corners as opposed to being one fixed unit on that bike. Trust me, it is so much better. Next, we want to keep it smooth. So the worst thing is when you've got a left and a right and you want to transfer between the left lean and then you've got to get back on the bike and then you want to get onto the right lean, and that can upset the balance because obviously you're hanging off the right, and then what I used to do was just plant my ass back on the middle of the seat and then I would hang off the right and then I would plant back in the middle of the seat with all my weight. That's not really what you want to do. You want to float over that seat side to side because you want to have all of the weight in the foot pegs and you want to slightly raise your body off of the seat, all right? So that was the mistake that I was making for a long time. So I was here. All my weight is in this seat right now. And then I would lean over here and then I would come back with my weight already there from the lean, and I would just lean it right on. All my weight is here, and then I'm like in this weird position because I haven't fully got back on the bike, and then I would go like this, and then I would go right next side, and then I would lift it up and plonk back down on the other side. You don't want to do that because it's just going to upset the balance of the bike every time you're slamming your weight back into that seat. So what you want to do is go for that lean. You're already here. Obviously, you've got that side knee in that tank. That's what these grooves are for. Haven't really spoke about that, but yeah, you want to be pinned on that side tank, have your thigh across the seat, and both my cheeks really are hanging off. And then from there, I'm pushing with my right foot because I'm leaning right, and I'm putting all the weight on the foot pegs, and I'm lifting off of the seat to then transfer to the other side. I haven't gone like this. This is version 1. Bosh, bosh. I've gone from here, and then I've just gone over and slid over the top because all the weight is in my feet and I've just lifted my body and I'm doing this over the seat. Not this, I'm doing this and skimming over the top of the seat. All right? So that's how transfer from corner to corner. So we'll go up there in a second. There's a left and a right bend that we can do. I can't go crazy because my tyre pressure is really low. I can feel it. These tyres are wobbly as anything right now. But the bloody petrol station air pump wasn't working. So, yeah, we'll go do that left and right. And then other than that, that's kind of it really. It's just a case of going out and practicing. So let's swing this thing around. Let's go and do it because it's boiling. I'm sweating. Ugh. It's not too tight, but it's enough to practice and to show you. Does that make sense? I'll do it one more time. And now I'll show you a bad one of what I was doing before. This is quite hard on this corner because it's not really that tight, so it's actually quite long. There's no need to really lean left, but I'm just trying to show you for an example. But this is what I was doing before. So I would lean right, and then I would get back on the seat, but then I'd be off, and then I'd have to slam back on this side, and then I'd get off, and then I'd be like this, and then I'd have to readjust to be straight again. Whereas when I do it my way, well, I can just do this constantly because my weight and ass is just constantly hovering above the seat. So we go around this corner, hovering off the seat. Oh, bosh, bosh, bosh. I want to get back on, weight in my feet, lift back on. I'm straight back centre instead of going like this and then coming back like this and then having to do that. That's not what you want to do. So yeah, weight on your toes, people. Weight on your toes. Other than that, to be honest, that's kind of it. It's really not that complex. It's just a case of physically really trying to get your cheeks off of that seat, whether it just be the right cheek or even both cheeks. You want to kind of have your thigh where it's just underneath your cheeks, that part of your thigh on that across that seat, and then your knee perfectly in that groove of that tank. That's kind of like the perfect position for me anyway. That's kind of what I like and I find the most comfortable, and where I can really drag a bike around a corner is when I've got both cheeks off just over the seat and my thigh is laying across the seat, and then everything else I'll try to show you now if I can. So the perfect position for me is this. So here's me. Obviously this is a thing here. You could just do this, but for me I like to have my knee in that bit and I like to lay my thigh. So you see my thigh here? That's on the seat. So both of my cheeks are off. This knee is in this curve of this tank and I am here. Okay? That's where I like to go. You obviously do your own thing, but just edge it off slightly. Just now you're taking your corners. Just play around with the concept of moving your body weight off of the center line. So this is the bike. You don't want to be here. You want to be here. And you don't want to be here or here. You want to be all together. Bosh. Okay? Just start implementing that into your corners and trust me, you will start to see improvements because it's helped me massively. And now I can swing it round. And you don't even have to go fast. You know what I mean? So yeah, ride safe. Don't go crazy. And I'll see you in the next video.